Okay, this is Grammar Explanation 1.10. It's on page 21. And we can look at just a little vocabulary explanation before we get into the grammar explanation. A blog is a special kind of website that people operate and run by themselves. Anybody can go online and create a blog and keep it like a journal that friends can come and read. It's called a blog. See if we can see an example of a blog. Okay, this is Martha Stewart's blog. Here she's talking about her summer. And what else is here if we go down here? Oh, I guess she has a lot of pictures of her vacation trip. And then she is completely different topic here about how to make tomato sauce. So she gives instructions. So whatever is on her mind, she creates something that's like a journal with pictures, and that's called a blog. Also, they talk about animals here. They talk about insects, like bugs. Here's a panda, and here's a koala. Okay, so the grammar point here is about making questions in the simple present. And if your subject is he, she, or it, if it's third person singular, you use does. Does she study frogs? And here's the short answer. Yes, she does. Does she write a blog about pets? No, she doesn't. Or I can say, no, she does not. And here's the contraction. Okay, if you have a yes-no question and your subject is I, we, you, or they, or a plural subject, you use do and don't. Do people like insects? No, they don't. Do pandas get attention? Yes, they do. And remember that when you ask a yes-no question with the verb to be, it looks different. You don't use do or does. Is Cook a zoologist? Yes, she is. But here's a different verb, not the verb to be. Does Cook do research? Yes, she does. Notice that this S for the third person is on the helping verb here. And this is the base form of the verb. Now this is what it looks like when you ask a question with a WH word. When I talk about a WH word, I mean who, what, when, why, those words. Okay, so here's a statement. Cook studies frogs. Okay, and here is one of these helping verbs. We call how a WH word, even though it begins with H. How does Cook study frogs? And the word order is the WH word plus does, the subject, and the base form. Why does she make videos? There's the WH word and does, subject, and the base form of the verb. If the subject is I, we, you, they, then you use do. Okay, where do other frogs live? There is your WH word, do, and there's your subject, and there's the base form of the verb. And here's a negative question. Why doesn't Cook study plants? Okay, and this is a contraction of does not. And for third person singular, here's the doesn't. And here is a negative question with I or you or we or they. Why don't Borneo frogs live on the ground? And remember, with the verb to be, that question is going to look different. Okay, here, what kind of animals are you interested in? There's no do. All verbs except to be, then you use the do. What kind of animals do you like? And here's a negative question where I use aren't with the verb to be. Why aren't people interested in some animals? Here's your plural subject, plural verb in the negative. And if it's not the verb to be, then you can ask don't. Why don't people like some animals? Here's a different verb, not the verb to be.